We can't fix our eyes anywhere else except for on the Lord and say, what is it that you want of me? Where are you calling me? And yes, whatever it is, my answer is yes. One morning, it was my senior year of high school, my dad left my mom a note, and he told her that he didn't love her anymore and that he was leaving our family. She crumbled in a lot of ways, and she wasn't there and present oftentimes to be able to take care of my little brother, and so I was the one that was taking him to school. I was making sure that my family was fed. I was working a part-time job and bringing home food from waiting tables just to make sure that everybody was taken care of.
Katie, for a lot of people, I mean, if you consider what you just described to us, that would be a recipe to kind of go a different way and get into all sorts of problem behaviors, especially for young ladies. We see this all the time. The other thing, though, I think is a lot of people give up on love. I mean, I know a lot of people who've come from backgrounds in their own families who then just like, well, if that's the case, well, I'm not going to get married.
And I went through all of those emotions for sure. I dealt with that a lot, but thankfully, just prior to all of these things falling apart with my family, the summer before my senior year of high school, I had gone back to the Steubenville conference, but this time within the context of their leadership training program. So during that week, they really try to take you deep into your prayer life and teaching you how to discern God's will and all those sorts of things. So a big theme over the course of the week for me in my own personal prayer was my vocation, and knowing that the Lord had a plan in store for me. And so as I thought through that and I prayed through that, I knew that God, who created everything about me, knew exactly which direction would bring me the most joy in my life, but would also bring me the greatest holiness. So whether that was religious life or whether that was being called to married life. If God was calling me to be married, then he knew who it was that I would marry. And if that was true, then that meant that that man was out there. That was when I really decided I was going to go to war spiritually for my future spouse. And so I started to refer to him as my husband-to-be, which then got shortened to my HTB. And I prayed for my HTB often and hard for specific things. And so in order to make that really concrete in my life, I also started to write letters.
If I had to be dead honest with you, my life was full of sin and selfishness and all the things you think about when you think about high school kids and the party scene. In the summer between my senior year of high school and my freshman year of college, everything changed for me. I was just getting ready for bed like any other night, and I was taking a shower. And the only way I can describe what happened is that I felt the Holy Spirit just come into the room. That very night, I made a definitive decision that I was going to give my life to Christ.
So then you're going to meet at Franciscan.
Yes. So
how did you guys meet?
So my first theology class was actually where I met Mark.
So we didn't date for a whole semester, but we hung out every day. Katie called me one day, and I could tell that she was really onto something, and she felt something deep inside, and she kept asking me, what was the exact date of your conversion? I heard her, rustling through some pages, and it sounded like a notebook of some sort. And then what she read to me was quite amazing. And she basically said that entire week leading up to my conversion, she was praying most intensely for her future husband and his conversion.
Okay, now, are you starting to recognize that she may be the one for you?
It was an easy decision for me. I could see God's hand in it very clearly, and his hand was in it, my heart was in it, and it just all lined up. And so it was a really beautiful thing. So yes, we got engaged. After the rehearsal dinner, we stole a few moments together, and Katie gave me this gift, and I opened it up, and I'm like, great, what is this, a 3-ring binder? It was just a binder, and it was decorated. It was all decorated, and she's like, well, open the envelope and read the letter, and you'll understand. Dear HTB, my future husband, my best friend, my rock. Wow, I can't believe I'm writing my last letter. During my junior year of high school, I began praying for my HTB on a regular basis. What I didn't tell you was that I also began writing you letters. So many times I needed you and missed you so desperately that I would try to satisfy my longing by some sort of communication with you. I turned to this notebook. My goal was to form my understanding of my husband into a concrete individual who was really living in time and space. That person turned out to be you, Mark Hartfiel, who was meanwhile living in the Lone Star State. I give you all of my past, present, and future, and this is what it is all about. You will meet me as a 17-year-old, and barely 17 at that, and watch me grow into Mrs. Mark Hartfiel. I've been yours for longer than you could possibly imagine. Mark, I wish I could express how elated I am that it is you. I love you with all that I am, and that is what I give to you. I've loved and respected you since before you had a face. You are my gift. You are my reason. You are my everything, and I want to share it all with you. You have helped me understand Mary's role in my life, and that being closer to you means being closer to Jesus. You make me want to be holy. As we give each other everything tomorrow, let's give each other the promise of heaven as well. Know that I am praying for you. I have waited, and I am so glad that I do not have to wait anymore. I love you.